Hi, welcome to the theater room. Come in. This is for 1,000 subscribers. I figure I'd re-showcase the theater room, the new and improved. It looks exactly the same, but I've changed a few minor details. So this is the whole room for new and old subscribers. It's basically the same kind of general setup. You've got your ottoman chairs and whatever, so you can get yourself comfortable. You've got your TV, you've got your Blu-rays, got figurines and CDs and stuff. It varies in range of what I own, what my dad owns, that kind of jazz, because of course I live with family. So yeah, I figured I'd just kind of give you a brief tour as to what it all is, what it looks like now, because mostly you get a shot of this in the majority of the video. So we'll obviously talk about the shelf first. From left to right, it is Blu-rays to DVDs. The Blu-rays actually segment themselves here with director collections. I'm yet to adjust all the labels I have because I've adjusted some around and added some new collections. Like I've got Wes Craven now as a collection. I've expanded Spielberg to being not one square but half, a square and a half with some Romero as well and stuff like that. So I'm experimenting with different ways to like just display the directors I favor the most with films that I like watching the most. So yeah, you got your Hitchcock, you got some Andersons, you got Kurosawa, Wachowski, a whole bunch of stuff. I've got Cronenberg's a new addition, same as Sam Raimi's still there. I've got Friedkin films now because, well, gotta honor a legend. So yeah, so then you got the rest of the Blu-ray shelf. It's in alphabetical order from About Time as number A, because that's a number, all the way to Z at the bottom with Zombieland 2 double tap. On the odd occasion there will be a bunch of films I'll be getting in, so I've gotten two new ones that I have yet to place in the shelf, so hence the shelf is usually always 98 to 99% complete because I'm always still ordering stuff and having to readjust. So yeah, that's the basic gist of that. I have minor rules for storing in case of, I don't want excess stuff. So if I have a 4K upgrade or a DVD upgrade to Blu-ray or whatever, then I'll bury whatever alternate version I have. So if I've got a 4K version of a film that used to live on the shelf, that film has now been put to the back and I've put the 4K either on the shelf down below, whether it's a box set or whatever, or I've just displayed that instead. Same goes for DVDs. If I have a DVD upgrade to Blu-ray, I'll just bury the DVD from the slot it was in so I can minimize that amount of space. Because we have about 600 odd DVDs, and according to my Blu-ray.com app, well over 2,000 Blu-rays. So that obviously delineates as well, because some of those are collections and whatever with the same barcode, which is really annoying. So yeah, I don't think there's too much else to add in terms of how I put it all together, but yeah, A to Z, basic stuff. I do my best to make it all fit in. Some of them are pretty tight. Some of them, that's actually much tighter, this one. Some of them are pretty easy to get out. I don't know. I also have to compensate for the fact that I have family. So they will look at films and want to choose one or whatever. So I have to make sure that they're able to access it. It's not all about me. So hence a lot of the directors, they'll also know. But then some of them, they won't know at all. Like I don't expect my family to watch, I don't know, a Dario Argento film, so I know that I can have that on display as its own thing without it being, causing controversy. The top section of the shelf delineates again. You have some VHS in the top left, some box sets, then there's a range of steelbooks. These are limited edition premiums, all kinds of different versions that I just have up there, not for playing with. Basically, if people want to watch a film that I only have a steelbook version of, I've got an extra shelf down below that people can access. But of course, premiums as well. And then you got your DVD box sets and just some extra ones at the far top. And of course, the DVD section is over here. I think it was TV shows as well. I should note that I've got the first season on display for any TV show. The rest of the seasons are buried behind it. So, again, saves for space. And of course, the extreme top shelf is with all the box sets. They range from Blu-rays to DVDs to TV shows to movies. The furthest corner is meant to be Dexter, but my brother's currently watching that, so I've repositioned it in the room for his convenience. Because it's a bit higher to reach. He might be a 6 foot tall person, but he still can't reach that. Either way, we get to the smaller shelf on the side here, which used to be my steelbook selection, but now it's three different directors. You've got David Lynch on the top, my favorite director, followed by M. Night Shyamalan, Scorsese, and then all of the Halloween films on 4K and Blu-ray, because I had so many I figured I'd make a whole display for them. And of course on the top you have my Alien selection of figurines and the Alien collection egg. So yeah, I don't know, it's just a fun thing to have on display, better than they were. They were all kind of like littered throughout the room, all posing to like fight each other as if they're action figures. They're not, they're adult collectible shop. Anyway, we're moving on to the movies part where I show the movies. This is my TV. It's an LG, I think Gallery 2 4K with OLED and all that fancy stuff. I've only got that as of December of last year, but I'm very happy to have it. 65 inches, so it fits perfectly on the wall. I could probably still go over 75 inch, but it's never going to happen. I don't need that. I went from 55 to 65, and that's perfect for me. The OLED was the main thing that I wanted. It's the extra upgrades of a post-2020 TV, because my previous one was like 2016 model, so the upgrade was well valued. I've got the same Denon receiver that I've had the whole time, as well as my Sony 4K player, which is all regions, and my Panasonic, what is that, DP UB820. That's the main player I use because it has Dolby Vision and everything, but if I have a Criterion or a Region A disc, I will be using the 4K Sony player on the top, so that's pretty easy. Then the rest of this section here, you've got an extra shelf I got for my CD selection of soundtracks and, scores, whatever. Some limited edition box sets. An Akira manga set, because I have no idea where to put that in my main room, so I figured I'd just leave it there. As well as some figurines. The shelf here, pardon the fan, it does get hot in summer, so it makes it easier to just have it to air out the room. We do have internal systems, but it's just nicer, This is actually my dad's selection of all the vinyl and CDs that he's collected over the years. It's usually some kind of a mess of a display, but I don't really mind. It's got random toys that I've had since I was a child for some reason. I don't know. For some reason we have Mr. Potato Head. I have no idea. But yeah, box sets are all his. The laser disc for Creature from Black Lagoon is mine. There's no real other place to display that in the room, so it can live there. And that painting on the top corner was actually painted by my girlfriend who's filming. So, yeah. So, yeah. We move on now to the piano, where this is... Well, it's kind of changed a little bit. I had my Alien figures here, but now I've moved my Twin Peaks figures. I love Twin Peaks, but I don't want to have to display every single pop vinyl I have, mostly because I don't like collecting pop vinyls anymore. But I like that I have them. Then some Universal Monsters, some Steelbook stuff, a bunch of slasher villains, and all these other NECA figures and Mezco figures and whatnot. So some more Funko and even... Of all things, an Evangelion figure at the very end, and some Godzilla stuff down here, because I got some range, why not? Move over to the far corner. I mean, obviously you've got the double kind of ottoman chair, which I can move around whenever. If I ever need to, say if my brother has friends come over and they want to use the theatre room to play Mario or whatever, I can just move the whole thing back, but I like having it a bit more forward, because the door that's the sliding door that you came from, isn't very thick, so I can hear when my parents are watching a movie, so that can kind of, buzz me out of the mood that I'm in for whatever film I'm watching, so having it be a bit more pressed forward kind of just works for me. But yeah, so we have a range of posters and things on display. Most of these posters are my dad's, with the exception of the Creature from the Black Lagoon and Escape New York. I did have They Live over there, which was also Matt Ferguson art, but it's fallen off and I haven't bothered to put it back up again. The sticker things are still there. I'll do it eventually. I don't know. The posters on the side there are actually signed. The Star Trek one, if you do know, is signed by Benedict Cumberbatch, which me and my dad met back in 2014, and the one above is signed by Patrick Stewart, Mitch Pileggi, and Stan Lee, who we met in 2012 in Comic-Con, back when Comic-Con was fun. So yeah, the rest of the posters, I don't think any of them... I mean, Cooper here is a cardboard cutout. I've removed him from his backing, so he's now flat against the wall. safer that way, because when, again, if family or friends come over, it's like, he's a damage prone, so it just makes it easier if I just don't have him in the way. Easy peasy. But yeah, I think alternative posters, all the rest of them. The Terminator 2 and 2001, I believe, are mine as well. I like to delineate. I don't know. They're cool posters. I bought them at the Astor a couple of years back. It's cool. Either way, we've got the other figurine box set shelf. I've now moved a bunch of box sets up on top and realized I can stack them all and display them, and they also can like house different figurines, so that's cool. I got a Bride of Frankenstein book, got a bunch of Imprint as well. They have great box set design, so I love like displaying them. But yeah, so got some more figurines from NECA, some Lego because I like some Lego as well. More Godzilla, some zombies because I like Dawn of the Dead. More John Carpenter stuff, more Godzilla, Scooby-Doo, Universal Monsters. Every set I have is there, which is very nice. Makes it very easy for me to watch any of them. And the Lego Batmobile, which takes up way too much space and gets very dusty very quick because it's completely black, which is very annoying. But, you know, it's nice to have it, I guess. And then we end it with a Haunted Mansion. But the shelf itself ranges from the far right is my steelbooks. These are the ones that I allow anyone to watch, basically. They're not too rare or expensive. I mean, they probably are to some degree, but they're just films I don't have on standard Blu-ray, or if I do, these are the better versions of it, so it's just kind of nicer to display them there. I've got all of my Disney animated films in one row just to make, clean up on shelf space, which is really nice. Obviously, when Disney announced that they were kind of removing themselves from the picture of Australia as a country, gee, that's fun. I bought up a bunch that were surprisingly cheap, and I just figured I'd display them all in release order. So yeah, they're the majority of the animated features, minus like 2 or 3. I mean, one of them is Milan, so yeah, no, it's not a full collection, but I'm happy with what it is. All these ones I'm happy to watch. But yeah, the rest of them are all a range of box sets. You've got on your far left some, I don't know, random brand box sets. Nothing really in particular, but the bottom shelf is Second Sight. I try to prioritize that. And yeah, you got other Blu-ray box sets and stuff, Arrow Video, some horror, more Arrow Video. Then we've got where I've currently placed the Dexter box set and the Jerry Lewis set that I got for my dad for Father's Day. And the one on the far right is just some extra box sets and stuff. A lot of those ones I try to have as, most of them are mine because I like to buy big brand kind of stuff like Arrow Video and Second Sight and whatever. But some of the other sets, like the Harry Potter and James Bond ones, like they're very commonly watched throughout the household, so I like to have them with easy access, basically. Like, I even have a story where my brother and my dad were watching one of the Harry Potter films, and they were watching it on, like, Netflix or something. I don't know. They were streaming it from somewhere, and it kept lagging. And I was like, why are you watching it on streaming? They're like, oh, because it's just there. And I'm like, yeah, but 2 feet next to me is the box set on 4K. So I ended up getting out the 4K for them because it wasn't loading. So, there are some saving graces in that department, which, I'm not completely against streaming, but I'm also like, if I have the physical version, I'm going to vote for that over the streaming version any day of the week. And last but not least, we have the entrance, which I'll try to display. I guess removing sunlight might be a bit much. Alright, well, on the right hand side here, just got some posters and displays. Got a skeleton, because why not? And a picture signed by that guy who was in that movie. I don't even know if it's authentic or not. It doesn't really matter. I didn't meet him. On the top above the door is William Shatner. We met him back in Comic-Con a few years back. And of course on the sliding door here is Jump Scare. It's Humphrey Bogart. So my dad has a few of these one bill kind of posters, so he's a little annoyed that I've hidden Marilyn to some degree, but at the same time I got this shelf here for my birthday last year, so I had to put it somewhere. And yeah, it ranges from Scooby-Doo on VHS, some Evangelion figures, some more soundtracks and CDs that couldn't fit on the other shelf because the other shelf is very particular. I got a small Japanese collection, my Chameleon films, some random films in general, and then a bunch of figurines and bobbleheads. So yeah, Ash Williams, more Evil Dead and horror and Evangelion. I've got a John Carpenter collection, Godzilla. It's just some classic TV shows and horror stuff. And it kind of just ranges all the way down to what's available for my dad because he loves the Beatles, so that makes it easy for him to access that. Some more box sets, 10 seasons of The Simpsons, and some more Evangelion because they're just nice figures, you know? So, yeah, I mean, as an overall, that's the gist of the room. It's comfortable, it's nice. I do wish the blind was blackout, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so it works. It's always and constantly in flux in terms of it being adjusted and whatever for both occasions of people coming over and in terms of, you know, displaying movies and making sure that things are available. So yeah, but I'm comfortable with where it's at right now. Eventually, I don't know. I don't know what the next step is once I've run out of space because, as you can see by this top shelf here, I can fit about 6 or 7 Blu-rays, so it's going to eventually reach the point where I'm going to run out of space. So, yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do when that happens, but that's alright. That's a future me problem, which has always been a future me problem. But still, I'm happy with the shelf. I'm happy to still collect physical media in both box sets and individual Blu-rays. Yeah, it's still become a tougher market with how to find some films, but, you know, the internet exists. It's not hard to find stuff that you want to find, so eventually things will become available, and I'll just probably start buying boxes and putting the stuff in boxes to make it easy for myself. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the gist of it all. I hope you've enjoyed this brief tour, this updated tour of how I've displayed things and how I showcase to friends and family and the internet as to what I do in this room and how I show it off, because I like to collect things. I like to show off the media and stuff that I enjoy. So, yeah, cool. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll walk you out. Yeah, I don't know. Come back again tomorrow or the day after or whenever.